Hey guys, it's Riley, and today I wanted to make a very important video, and that video is going to be on how MBTI or Myers-Briggs or Jungian psychology has changed my life as an INTP, and I hope you guys take this video and become more interested in this and understand how important it is. Um, I'm going to talk about how it's helped me understand myself better and the positive implications of that, and how it's made me understand other people better, and various positive um, reflections of learning this science and how it has positively affected my life personally. So first we're going to start with how it has allowed me to understand myself better. Now, as an intuitive type, it is very normal for me to be somewhat misunderstood by other people, and because of this misunderstanding, and because people weren't as able to sympathize with the specific problems that I would have as an INTP, it made me feel very alienated and very weird, and I didn't really know how to deal with a lot of the problems that I had because now a lot of the people around me didn't have these same problems. By learning about Jungian psychology and especially integrating the cognitive functions, it was it was able to make me understand my thought process and some of the hangups that I had, some of these weaknesses that I had. For example, as an INTP, I began to understand why I had this aversion to committing to things fully, and because of that, I was able to develop strategies of writing things down and dudifying myself, making things my responsibility. Um, it, um, sorry, Making things my responsibility so that I would carry out those goals, which was a strength of my personality was to be very dutified and to carry out things if I felt that it was my responsibility. And also understanding my weakness and where it came from, also I was able to see how that could be a strength, and understood that I'm very good at not committing to something too far, or I'm very good at knowing when the costs have been sunk and I need to pull out. Um, Also, another thing that has helped me personally is when it comes to my personality in social situations. I could be quite awkward throughout my life, and I would get very uncomfortable when people were very emotional, um, very extroverting their feelings in front of me. It would make me uncomfortable. Even positive feelings would make me uncomfortable. And in the past, this would make me feel very weird. Like, why am I getting uncomfortable with this phenomenon that's happening? Um, and because of that, and this goes to the other weaknesses as well, I would kind of look down on myself, and instead of trying to really understand why that was happening and trying to overcome that, really, I more tried to repress it and felt bad for being that way. But my understanding that this is the way that I am and accepting that, I was better able to accept myself for who I am, and therefore have become more comfortable around other people and more comfortable with people being quite emotional in front of me, because if I get that twinge that of uncomfort where someone's emotional in front of me, it's not so bad because I know that this is a normal thing for me, and um, that has also helped me with my own self confidence and my areas of weakness, by identifying there's those areas of weakness I can better feel alright in my own skin and what the phenomenon that is happening in my head, by accepting that, I'm better able to deal with it. Now, the second big thing that has really helped me by learning Jungian psychology is understanding other people, and this goes very deep. There's a lot of implications of how understanding other people and their type and what really motivates them can really help you. Um, People tend to assume that people think like they do when they're talking to them, when they're judging their decisions. It's very easy for us to or to look at someone else making what we see as an irrational decision and to just think that they're stupid. When really, if you understand more about these people and how they work, it's not an irrational decision for them. It's not an irrational decision for what they value. For example, my mother is an ISFJ, and I would commonly get annoyed with the fact that her and other people like her, because of their forethought, extrovert intuition function, always needed to know what you were doing and could come off kind of controlling in a way, not necessarily controlling, but like they wanted to always know what you were up to and expected you to always be telling them what you're up to, and are actually quite can get angry if you don't tell them what you're up to, or if they find out that you've been hiding something from them. But by understanding their type and how they're thinking, then it becomes much easier to empathize with them and to not let that make you get angry at them. By understanding people's nuances and just accepting them for who they are, you can better work with them and won't be so judgmental towards other people. Now, another reason why this is so great is because by learning Jungian psychology and all about Myers-Briggs, it has allowed me a greater capacity for humility. When you really get into Myers-Briggs, you understand how crucial and important every one of these personality types and how everyone is valuable in their own way, and that we need every single one of these personality types in order to have a proper functioning world. Uh, this is something that people often don't understand all of the time. They People like to make broad statements. If these people didn't exist, or if these people would stop doing this, then things would be so much better. But also, those negative behaviors, by understanding why they possess what you see as irrational or illogical, by understanding their motivations behind their thought process, you will be better at actually changing their behavior because you understand them and they can sense that, and you may be better at convincing them, and it allows greater communication and empathy between you and these other people. I think that aspect of Myers-Briggs teaching you humility is possibly one of the most important parts of learning about it. I would say that if you're interested in learning about it, though, that you should start with yourself and then move outwards. Um, and then, let's see. Um, the last thing that I wanted to touch on was that um, by understanding other people and by understanding yourself, you can properly put together a team of people and figure out which personality types can work together the best in order to attain whatever certain goal you are trying to go after. Um, So this will help you in not only your personal life but also your work life. Now, I guess so there's one thing that I would say is a negative of learning Jungian psychology that I've noticed in myself, and it's an interesting thing. So there's this unconscious side to myself when I'm thinking, now that I understand um, Jungian psychology, that when I'm talking to people, uh, I'll tend to be overly analytical, using the cognitive functions and such to try and analyze their behavior or try and figure out what type they are or what angle they're playing, which isn't a bad thing in and of itself per se, but it really does take away some of the warmness, I would say, of social interaction. You know, when you have something down to a specific science, it really takes away a lot of the novelty of social interaction. And because of this, it it's good to I don't know if really other people have this issue to where they're over analyzing things even unconsciously. Like, I'll talk to someone and then when I walk away I was like, oh wow, that was a lot of introverted feeling right there. And it's like, why did I even just have that thought? But I didn't intentionally have that thought. I wasn't trying to analyze their behavior. So it's become like a second nature to me. It's kind of weird. Um, but yeah, I would say other than that, it's a very positive thing to learn. Um, so I would definitely recommend to anyone, no matter if you're an INTP or not, in order to understand yourself, to understand others, and to develop a greater sense of humility and appreciation for other people, that you should, in fact, learn Jungian psychology. Thanks, guys. Thanks for the video. Tell me what you think about this. How has learning Myers-Briggs affected your life, and positive and negative implications of that? Let me know in the comments.